Alright, so I watched the new film from MGM Studios and Prime Video, Roadhouse, and this is the remake starring Jake Gyllenhaal, and this is the remake of the 1989 movie that starred Patrick Swayze, and even with bringing this to life, and even with having Jake Gyllenhaal take on the role as Elwood Dalton, and bring all those fighting skills as he plays his character as a UFC fighter, and even bring all of the fighting chops and all the aesthetics into this big badass movie as well. And so this will be my official review for the film, and no spoilers, to give you guys my thoughts and my impressions, and especially with Jake Gyllenhaal, what he brought to the screen with his acting and his fighting techniques, and there's so much more to talk about the villain, and even with this cool epic story of his remake as well. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so miss on any future vids. But now let's just hop into it. And now, just by going in this movie, and I still remember Roadhouse, and that remains a classic, especially as it started Patrick Swayze, and even with him taking out bad guys, and that awesome setting at like a bar, it remains iconic. But even with this remake that now has Jake Gyllenhaal, and especially for what he had to go through with his body, and with his physical form, and to take out bad guys, it was just so amazing just to witness that, and even to not having this movie being a theatrical release and being released on streaming on Prime Video. I think, I mean, it deserved a theatrical release, but I think I'm happy that it remained on streaming. But even though like it has some of the best action fighting scenes I've ever seen, it would have been awesome to witness on the big screen. But even for what Gyllenhaal brought, especially as Elwood Dalton, and for the way that he was able to deliver that, and even for all the like iconic stuff that was brought from the classic movie and now into this adaptation remake, is sort of really good. And now, what the main premise of this movie is with Elwood Dalton, who is a UFC fighter, and then like he just runs a fighting club for money that is offered a job to stay at a roadhouse in Florida in like a tropical setting, and even with these bad guys, and so especially with this bad guy named Brand that wants to take away the roadhouse, especially from Frankie, and even with Dalton has to watch out, and even to take care of the place, and even to take out bad guys as well. Even with the story, and even for what I thought of it, it's sort of alright. But even though it has some of the greatest fighting sequences I have ever seen, especially for how the movie opens, it just goes and goes and goes, and like it does not waste any time. It gets directly into the story, and you can definitely see what Dalton has been going through, especially for the dreams of, especially as a fighter, and even that he's put into this position, and now that he has to like protect a bar from these bad guys, and even I gotta say, especially with Jake Gyllenhaal, I mean, I love him as an actor, and even for what he had to go through, especially like getting in shape for this remake of Roadhouse. I mean, this is an old classic movie from 1989, and now being brought into a remake, and now like I was staying in that same position now to take out bad guys, and I can see how Gyllenhaal is so passionate about this role and about this film, and that's what I really enjoyed from his take on Elwood Dalton, and it's really take out bad guys. I mean, we see this stuff. Gyllenhaal is pretty good, and even to bring this role to life, it's just pretty amazing. Even I want to touch upon the real main antagonist with Conor McGregor, who is a boxer, and now making his film debut, and even just to see Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor fight one another, it's just truly amazing to see on screen. So especially as like I mean. I liked his role, especially for what he brought to being an actual villain, and his villain villain role is like amazing. He brought all of the villainy to the table, and even to watch him just like take out bad guys and to really beat them up for good, it was really just amazing. And I wonder why they couldn't have made this a release to be a theatrical, but even just have it on streaming. I mean, this is like a movie that you can just like sit on your couch and hit play. But even with the Conor McGregor for his like acting technique, especially for what he brought with those fight scenes, and to even like have him like go up against his people and it's really beat them up good, it was truly amazing. Even for the rest of the characters, especially with Frankie, and that is the person who runs the Roadhouse bar, and I liked her character. I like how she was introduced in the film to kind of help Dalton, like help him help him get a job at the Roadhouse, and even with all the additional characters. I mean, I can name so many, especially like there are some twists and turns that I did not expect that led to like a great fight scene, and even some great action sequences near towards the end. But even with how everything is resolved, especially with everybody in this film, it's like kind of epic, but at the same time it's sort of like a mixed bag for me, because it doesn't have that like same feel, but it's definitely really cool just to witness all that with the people at the bar that were assisting him, and even for what Dalton has to go through, especially with dealing with bad guys, and like that's something that I truly liked. I thought the whole rest of the movie, just having a great story, a great script, and just to even have what was like a badass fight scenes, I truly like hit to the core. It's just truly amazing to witness. And even with Daniela McQuire, and I liked her role. I like what she delivered with her character, especially between Gyllenhaal and McQuire, and with their chemistry and with their stuff. It really works on screen. I like their chemistry, and it really blend well together. And even with the rest of the characters, that I definitely had a good time watching them. But you know, like there are some stuff that either have issues to be found. But even with Billy Magnuson, who definitely did a great job at playing one of the bad guys, that like definitely gets involved. It's especially with like those villainy lines, and like just like be this bad guy that wants to turn the Roadhouse bar into a resort. I mean, we've seen that in the trailers, but even like just to have him just play this bad guy, it is truly just good. It was so great. And now I want to talk about all the fighting and action sequences that go down in this movie, because there is a ton. It's just, especially from beginning, middle, and end. You will definitely get a feel of that. It's especially with Gyllenhaal taking out bad guys, and even with Conor McGregor, who gets his time to shine, especially with his film debut, with him being a boxer. But even with the fight scenes that go down in the bar, outside the bar, and even throughout the movie, it is truly amazing. And this is about on like a budget, and like a way like I see why this didn't get a theatrical release and it was released on streaming. But even I enjoyed the fight scenes, and I was rooting for Gyllenhaal, and even for what this movie brought, with delivering from that classic Roadhouse movie, and now to bring it into this generation. I thought it was cool enough to enjoy, but I still wish that this got a theatrical release. But even with the fight sequences, it was definitely made for like a streaming movie, but the fight scenes are so dang good. And even just to sum up my overall experience while watching this movie, it definitely like feels like everything that went down in the old classic movie, and now to bring it all to life, especially with the story, which is pretty good, and even with the pacing. I mean, this movie it's incredibly fast paced, especially for how the movie opens, and even like with every twist and all the turns, how everything unfolds. It's actually pretty dang good, and even with the third act and with the final minutes of the movie, you really got to see Dalton, like, and his fighting technique, even for what Gyllenhaal brought to the movie, it's really so dang good. And even with the final showdown, and I just enjoyed everything about this movie, and the story. I mean, I just enjoyed it for what it was, and the fact that it doesn't deliver the same parts as I did from the classic movie, and for the way they changed some things up, but I was fine for what it turned out. I enjoyed my time with it. I was rooting for each character, and it's an enjoyable experience. And so for my final thoughts is I enjoyed Roadhouse, and I definitely enjoyed the remake, especially with Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, bravo to him, especially with all the physical performance, and especially for what he went through to get in shape for this role as Elwood Dalton, and even to take out bad guys at the bar in like a tropical setting. It was so amazing, and even just to see a Jake Gyllenhaal shirtless, it was pretty pleasant for me. He just brought everything, and he even just brought everything, especially for what Patrick Swayze did in that old classic movie, and that was adapted in this awesome remake, especially with the antagonist, the story, the pacing. It just resolves so well. It's just a pretty good action movie. So I mean, be sure to check it out on Prime Video this week, or whatever you have time to see as well. And so that's what we have for this video. Just let me know what you guys thoughts in the comments down below, and if you got around to watching Roadhouse, and give me a rating to 1 out of 10. Also, I recommend this movie out there, and so much more. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and turn on notifications about future videos. And also follow all my social medias, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.